this is a great idea. Could you not?
I just want to go, good night, Jim Kite. Goodbye.
It was a whistle. Thought I was being summoned.
No.
I thought there was a fairy in the room.
He doesn't have the sneeze still on his phone. He used to have a sneeze.
And welcome back to another great episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Tired. Always
Always tired.
But it's like a new level of tired.
Is it?
Now that Jackson wakes up.
Man.
When he sleeps in, it's 6:45.
Yeah. Today he woke up at, what was it, like 6? But then was like he was sitting up.
Yeah, felt
not making a lot of noise.
He went in at like 6:20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, finally. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting news. We're halfway to monetization on YouTube. We got 500 subscribers.
Well, halfway in one
category.
One criteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
we hit 500. Mm-hmm. So that means that we will be doing the Tumblr giveaway of our YouTube subscribers. I got to figure out how to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to export that information and choose people that way, or if I'll just need to make a post and you basically post a screenshot.
I mean, we could always do it old school. Put their names on a little paper and draw it out of the hat.
Well, but that's what I mean. I don't know if that's like exportable from. Because I'm personally not writing out 500 names.
That's what I was going to say. Old school, like just write down the names.
No. So,
okay.
And I just don't even know if all that information is available. And then if it is,
right.
So if it's just their username, then am I going to have to contact them on YouTube and hopefully they see it. And so it'll be a whole thing. But we're going to figure it out.
So we do the drawing. Yes. They watch, they follow. And
well, some of these are like OG subscribers probably from a couple of years ago. So we'll figure it out. Either way, there's going to be a giveaway for hitting 500 subscribers on YouTube, and to win, you'll just have to be a subscriber on YouTube. And then
subscribe, smash the like button, all the things.
Don't smash it. No smash it.
Comment. Engage. Do the little bell. Yes, I don't know what the bell does, but everyone says do the little bell thing.
Notifications.
Yeah, but I think it's like engagement. I don't know what it is, but just hit the bell. It tells you when we have new episodes. I mean,
that's just a reminder that even if you aren't able to support us monetarily, that if you see a post, comment, share, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, what else was I going to say?
The downloads?
Yes, but hold on. So, just a reminder that all active patrons in the month of September will be entered to win another engraved Riley Black Project.
Because when you're a patron, you get automatically
So you don't have to do a thing except be active on Patreon. The lowest tier is $4 and the highest tier is $25. So a lot of flexibility, and then you get the episodes 4 days earlier than everybody else.
Yeah. Both the YouTube and the audio.
YouTube and audio.
Video and audio, both.
Yeah. And then, we are 14 downloads away from 20K. Which is insane because I feel like we literally just celebrated 10 and 15.
Right.
So I was telling you last night, I was like, we're going to have to start celebrating the 10,000 mark, because then they're going to be like, okay, more again.
Right.
But it's really exciting. And it's also the same week that we released episode 75, which is insane. Yeah. I mean, you and I don't, we tend to have difficulty keeping things going. And this is probably the longest thing that we've kept up with, which is quite impressive.
I think so.
Yeah. Consistently.
Right. And grown, and I mean, we're in here now. And
yeah. So
it's exciting. It's fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah. So 20K downloads on our 75th week episode. So we'll hit that today because we usually get 100 something downloads on Mondays.
You're right.
At least. So by the end of today we'll be at 20K, and then on to 30 and up.
Right.
And
keep growing and
Yeah.
And make this money.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of making money.
Yes.
So As you all know, I no likey physical products for the most part. Right. I like to make things like once, and then I'm kind of over it, and I don't really want to make it again. But we've decided that you and I are going to look into some physical products of some sort.
That's right. And then it's going to be my introduction into lasers.
Yes. So you helped me, or like you joined me when we were figuring out the tumblers.
Right.
And we're going to kind of keep that momentum going. Right. And you're going to help me with tumblers. We're considering stud earrings, right? Potentially doing them wholesale to other makers, right. And just because there's a lot of profit in the stud earrings because you can make like a couple hundred pairs per sheet usually.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just
get to work on Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, ornaments, a couple other things. Mostly to friends and family. I want to see where that goes before we open it up to like the world.
Everybody else.
Yeah, because as we know, we have a ton of shit going on anyway.
Right.
But we just wanted something else to kind of, give us that extra push and help us reach our goals faster. So we are going to attempt some physical products against my normal recommendations to myself and see how that goes. And then we've also looked into an FFL license, which is the Federal Firearms License.
And to get into gunsmithing.
Like Heather said, she's like, did you just ask a laser group about getting a gun license? And I'm like, yes, but no. So if you don't know, if you plan to do any kind of laser engraving, marking, whatever on guns or gun accessories, basically, you have to have...
For sale.
Yes, for sale.
You can do it for yourself.
Do it for if it's personal use and you're not getting paid for it, then you're fine.
If you do it for a friend, it's a little gray area. But if they're not paying you,
right? Yeah. But if you do plan to do it, especially and get paid, then you have to have a license.
Right.
So we looked into that. I kind of queried the group a little bit to see how hard it was.
If anyone's done it.
Yeah. And for the most part, it wasn't like hard. You just really have to pay attention when filling out the forms, which makes sense. It's the federal government. And it takes about 3 months. And then, so we're going to look into that, which...
takes 3 months right now. Because things in the firearm world tend to sometimes take a little longer than some other times. So it's election season, and that kind of plays into it as to how long it takes.
Yeah. So eventually our goal, which I've always wanted one, this kind of gives us an excuse to get one, is a fiber laser, because those are best for engraving on guns and firearms. And then it gives me an excuse to have one. And I could watch fiber engraves like literally all day.
So you'll be watching the engraves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it'll be easy content for me because, I just like watching them. So it'll be easy to make the content.
Right.
But yeah, so that's down the road. But then, initially you might just do other non-laser, gunsmithing stuff in the meantime.
So it falls under when you do stuff with lasers, which is usually stippling, and some designing on slides and stuff, but usually that falls under gunsmithing. And with that, I like to tinker with my guns anyway. So hopefully get into like very easy gunsmithing stuff like sights, and I'm sure everyone's bored by that. But whatever.
But what it also means is there's going to be more guns in my house. So
not mine, because I'll be working on them.
Can I write that down and make sure that actually happens?
The majority of them won't be mine.
You see that correction? So yeah. So there's that. But that's down the road. And it also depends on if this if the video stuff. If the video stuff goes crazy, then we don't have time for all that. True. For the gunsmithing and the fiber and all that. Well, and the other thing is, if we need more, we need to finally I think we've teased it on here before, but we were the other podcast that we were thinking of doing. I mean, we have a logo and everything. Like we're ready to go as far as that goes. But yeah, and it's completely non-laser related. Right. Although I'm sure because it's our life, it will sneak in at points.
Right, because it'll be more of a lifestyle
relationship podcast.
Yeah. So it'll work its way in, of course.
Yeah.
But it won't be the main focus.
Yeah.
Like this.
So wish us luck in all these
all these ventures,
endeavors.
All these, it's all it's like we say, it's pivoting. It's pivoting. It's like trying to find where to make the next move, what to go, like
what's most profitable.
Right. I want to do the video thing, but that seems like when we were working the numbers, that it was going to be a lot.
And
more.
That's not out, but it's definitely not front and center.
Not at all.
Anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just not like the main like focus to get to. So but it's still on the table. So if you guys want to work on your YouTube videos, hit us up and we can talk, we can chat and make it happen for you.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
I think we're ready for our guest.
Yeah, so we'll get our guest online. We'll be right back.
BRB.
And we're back again. And I say again because this is our second attempt.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that. Introduce who they are first.
Well, our guests today are Ashley and Ryan by Laser by the Creek.
Hey guys.
How are you guys doing today as opposed to yesterday?
Long time no see.
I know. I feel like we're really best friends now. We chat daily.
Yeah, we chat daily. Yeah. When I said we should do this again,
we didn't
mean the next day.
Yeah.
We know you did.
But so, I feel like it's fair that I love to point out what you screw up, like when we did the first episode 4 times.
She does.
So it's only fair that we talk about how I screwed up.
It was a mutual screw up.
That's true. You're the video guy, so you should have known. But
she's
still,
it's true.
I mean,
it's true.
But mostly me. So we use this fancy new computer
all this
thing.
Is fancy
all
new
of it's
to us.
Yeah, right. Which is part of the problem.
Right.
We're trying to make sure that camera works, that camera works, that one works, that one works. Right. Like there's a lot.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I assumed that the StreamYard that we use, like when you go live, you click go live and it records it, and like when you're done going live, you can then download it. And we've only used this once besides the live.
We used it for the live and we recorded one.
Yeah. And I figured as soon as we start a broadcast, we send them the link, we're good to go, that it's recording. And that's not the case.
Because you have to hit record.
We recorded a really great podcast yesterday.
No, we didn't. We
have the audio. We have half of it.
Oh, yeah, true. So we did record it.
But the problem was, which we thought about just using that, but you guys showed and told so many things that... Showed and told. And we need that. We need that stuff. And like your hair, and you put on makeup. I had to make you do it again, but
you did.
It's okay. She had to put on makeup again.
I know.
Too,
it's just like you're not the only one. I had to do it again.
Looked at me this morning like, you're doing it again. I know.
Yeah, it's a daily show. It's a daily show.
Right? Oh, God. Could you imagine? I can't be famous like that. If I do, I need a makeup artist because I don't want to do that. I just want to wake up and be like, okay, do it.
Just make me pretty.
Right? So you mentioned your kids. How many kids you got?
So we have 2 blessed children. I only say that because they're here today. And they can probably hear me talking. Our son is 5 and our daughter is 7, going on 16.
Right. And we mentioned yesterday that your second one was the crazy one, right?
Yep.
Kind of like ours.
So if he would have been our first child, he would have been an only child. Right. For sure. So he had kinder camp last week because he's going into kindergarten and just likes to torture his mom. And his teacher brought him out to my car, and I kind of looked at that to myself like, oh crap, it's like we're not even into school yet and he's already being brought out by the teacher. And she gets to my car, hands me a piece of paper. I was like, okay, we're kicked out of school. She goes, oh, he was so sweet. I was like, oh, you don't know him.
Right. I used to have, I mean, I still do. We had to do it last week at his doctor appointment. Our 5-year-old too. He's so sweet to everybody else.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
Like, but then at home, we get this other side, and we do get both. We do get the good, sweet kid too, but then we also get this other kid that's like just a holy terror.
Yeah, the Hulk. He smashes everything.
Yeah, and so we have to show video proof to these people because they don't believe us, and we're like, no, I have it on video. Like, it's so much, like all the way back to when he was like 2 in speech therapy. She was like, he's like an angel. Right. He's my favorite student, my favorite client. Whatever, and like he does no wrong, and I'm like, no. Let me show you what we need to work on outside of these sessions. And she's like, no way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we're a family of BMX racing as well.
Nice.
So the kids go down, get bruises, cuts, go to the doctor. What is this from? It's not from us. It's not from us.
Right?
It's from my face.
And you look like you're coaching. Where did that really come from?
Tell him.
Tell him.
Hey, tell him where it came from. Remember?
It's not me.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I may have thrown a stick in his tire, but he did it.
Tempting. I know. I told the doctor, and I was like, yeah, because he was like hitting and kicking, and we're like, it's getting really bad. And he goes, what did he say? Do you want to hit him back, or he said it in like a joking way. He wasn't, and I was like, sometimes I want to flick him really hard.
Right. Like, don't hit him back.
That's how I get it out sometimes when I'm like, I can't hit you. I'm like, but
and the baby,
flick you.
And the baby Jackson, he's got on his shins because he's crawling all over the place, and we have tile.
Oh, yeah.
So on his shins, they're like bruised, you know, fairly regularly. So it's like we kind of only hit him on the shins.
Well, you can hide it with pants.
That's what I feel. Yeah, with pants though. But we're
in South Florida, so that would be a terrible spot to choose.
But yeah, it's just I look at his legs, and I'm like, man, they're gonna think that we like beat him.
Right.
And then JR,
he does it to himself.
Yeah, and then JR with his like knees always scraped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Last spring when our daughter had her like spring musical business, she wanted to wear a dress. So she put her dress on, and I'm taking pictures, and there's like bruises down her legs. I was like, "Oh, girl, that's bad."
That's bad. Let's add some leggings under this dress. Yeah, he was so bad with his knees, we couldn't put him in shorts anymore, even though we're in South Florida, because he would heal one cut. And then before that one was healed, he'd add another one. And so now what happens when he wears mostly pants is he
tears the knees.
He tears the knees up. So, I guess it's good that the pants get it instead of his knees. But
yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's right.
So let's talk about how you got into, like, supplying goods to laser people. Where did you start?
So here's the backstory. Here we go.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. So Ryan grew up in central Minnesota, which is where his grandfather started, well, your great-grandfather, I suppose, started the mill, the wood mill. I grew up in the Twin Cities. Everybody in Minnesota knows where the Twin Cities is. My family moved to where he grew up when I was a sophomore in high school. Terrible move. But I met this lovely guy in high school. We're high school sweethearts. We've been together forever.
Love it.
So Ryan, after high school, decided that he's going to follow in his grandfather's footsteps and become a part of the processing at the mill and kind of do that businessy thing. I wanted nothing to do with wood.
No parts.
Get me away from here. I'm done.
Right.
So I actually went to school for first I went for psychology. Said, what the hell am I going to do with this other than analyze this guy? Right. I ain't got enough time for that. So then I decided to go to school for mortuary science. So I'm a licensed embalmer, licensed funeral director. Still licensed. Interesting. Right? Did that for 10... I'm the life of the party, man. People find that out. They have like 50,000
Is this something... So was that something that you had always wanted to do? Or was it just like kind of fell into it? Like how does...
No, they fall in. They fall in and then she goes and gets
she tosses them in.
I mean, right? If that's the way you're going.
Right. So my grandpa died when I was 8. Mm-hmm. And he was my very best friend.
Yeah.
And I remember at his funeral, at 8, I had no idea what death was, didn't know how permanent it was.
Right.
And the funeral director literally took me by the hand. He could see my confusion. Walked me up to my grandpa's casket and told me that, Grandpa's not here anymore, but he loves you so much. So after my psychology degree, I was looking back at my life, and that moment as an 8-year-old was huge to me.
Yeah.
So I said, let's try it. Let's see if I can make a difference in some other kid's world.
Yeah.
So I was a funeral director for 10 years.
That's awesome.
And I looked at funeral service as this person has lived a unique life. Mm-hmm. We need to celebrate that unique life. So I watched YouTube videos about laser engraving, and I thought, I can take that and do something for the families that have entrusted their loved ones to me and give back to them. So we bought a cheap Chinese laser. Mm-hmm. And
they have their quirks.
Bought materials. And I wasn't happy with the materials that I was getting. Like, they were inconsistent. I just wasn't seeing what I wanted to.
Right.
And I really wanted good quality for these families that I was serving because they truly deserve the best in a time like this. So we bought a Thunder laser, thinking maybe that would help me out, like see better quality. Not so much.
Yeah.
It was definitely the product I was using. So literally at a Thanksgiving dinner, you got corn, mashed potatoes, hot dish, turkey. Ryan's grandpa was there, and I talked freely about what I was doing at the funeral home, and I told him my frustration. And we, as a family, had a discussion about how we could produce materials for other laser users. Mm-hmm. And so we took a year to prototype these different materials, different cores, different woods, different veneers, all this wood stuff that went into this. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Right.
It's funny how that works.
Right? So we took a year. My career moved me up north, so northern Minnesota. Ryan traveled with me. And his grandpa really wanted us to continue our journey of this new laser material. So we opened a manufacturing shop in the Brainerd Lakes area. Mm-hmm. And so that's where our manufacturing is done now. So we manufacture our panels, our micro-ply panels. We manufacture all of our laser material here in the Brainerd Lakes area. Mm-hmm. We also manufacture other wood, good wood.
Good wood.
Wood good? Wood good. That's it. Wood good.
You've heard of hardwood. They have good wood.
Good wood.
We know wood.
Yeah.
We're good with wood.
Well, and I mean, one thing that's impressive about that was that you guys took the time. You took a year to really perfect it and not just push out the first thing or the first couple things that you guys tried. And then, I mean, basically, unfortunately, then your tester is the consumer, which isn't necessarily fair because they're spending, their money or time, messing with these materials that may not be like ready for production. So,
right. And as we, went through that journey, we realized that not everybody has a Thunder laser.
Right.
So we actually purchased a Glowforge because that's what the majority of our consumers use.
Right. Yeah.
We basically set the aspect of material to be able to cut on expensive lasers down to the less expensive.
Right. Because you'd be missing a huge market if what you had only, worked for industrials yeah.
We care about every customer. We don't care what laser they have. That's what they can afford.
Yeah.
And it's a big investment.
Definitely, yeah.
So we drove our product to be able to cut no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge.
And we have some of your stuff here.
Yeah.
On the table.
This, which we did an unboxing yesterday. But,
which nobody will see.
So
same.
These, we'll warn them that these are defects. I'll say the story of how I found her.
Okay.
Initially. So I found them through the Glowforge user group, like probably a year or two ago. I saw her, like, them mentioned a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, but like I didn't use a lot of wood, and the wood I did use was mostly 1/4-inch plywood from Home Depot at the time. So wasn't really like looking for another supplier. My materials weren't like super expansive yet. And then I keep saying only her. She's the only one I talk to, so.
It's okay.
But they had sent a box of fun materials to Emily, and they opened it like live in her group, her and Mindy. And by the time they did that, I was already like almost solely on acrylic. So I was like, oh, okay, like this is cool, but probably not something that I'd really be interested in. And then I saw all the stuff, and it was like all the really pretty woods and pre-finished. Masking was also an option because so when I ordered from Home Depot, I mean, it's not pre-finished and it's not masked. And that's what I hated the most about wood, besides the glue holes and the imperfections that came with the wood. But I didn't like the sanding, sealing, prepping, masking, all of that stuff that went into it. So at the time, the only wood that I really used, and even still now, was mostly veneer. Or this one customer who gets me to work with wood once a year for her awards. She's grandfathered in because I made her awards when I was new and still working with wood. The first year I made solid cedar awards, and so I kind of like set the bar really high on my first year, and I can't really. It's hard to top it. But anyway, so that was how I came across them, and seeing those pre-finished, pre-masked options that were affordable was huge because Glowforge offered that, and a couple other vendors would either offer like the pre-finishing or not the masking, or they would offer both, but it would be almost Glowforge prices. And if you know Glowforge prices, it's expensive. They make you pay for that convenience in the wood and the product. So
and the name.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but what also been to hit on that is Glowforge is buying product from a manufacturer as well. So they have their margin as well.
Right.
And same with everybody else. When somebody buys from us, they're buying straight from the mill or the manufacturer.
Right. So there's more leeway,
there is.
for pricing.
So there's not that extra hand trying to make a profit.
There's not the resale,
Right.
We don't buy and resell.
Right. Yeah.
You're not paying us to cut your material.
Right. Yeah. It's huge. So then I had reached out to her last year And I wanted to try some stuff, and I saw that they had some good veneers and stuff. And so I had convinced my award customer to use mostly acrylic, because that's what I was using.
Right.
And, but to add, she really wanted the wood aspect,
right,
a wood element. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe we can add like a veneer piece on the front. And so I got pre-finished, pre-masked cherry veneer from them last year. And so now we're working on this year, and she's really bugging me to get on it, and because we're always like super last minute too.
Right.
And so we're trying third year in a row to not be super last minute. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, you know, what you got that's like fancy, you know, pre-finished, pre-masked, whatever. And I mentioned the sapele, and I went back to my customer and I was like, okay, so this is what we got. And then she told me her budget, and I was like, okay, so
that changes things.
Right. So let's see what we can do here. And so then I reached out to her and
They're
asked her.
They're going to be smaller awards.
Right, minis. Let's make them keychains.
Yeah. That way you can walk around with your award.
Right.
And it's not just
carry it everywhere.
Yeah.
So I asked her if she had any like scraps or defects that she could send me, so that I could try a small piece and then like kind of convince her,
sell her on the idea.
And sell her on a modified idea even at that, because I was going to do like almost a full sapele award, just because it's like, it's fancy to me. Like, it's probably like, let's see if I can, it just doesn't do it justice. The cameras and the lighting, but
mostly the lighting.
So we were saying yesterday how it's almost like sparkly, but like iridescent, like it has movement to it and like motion, and it's just so pretty, and it's very it fits the Miami awards,
glitz and glamour.
Yeah. So I want to try and pair this with some either frosted clear acrylic or green glass acrylic. Yeah, that's the veneer, right?
Yep. So that's the unfinished.
And I mean, it's gorgeous, not not even finished, and then you add a finish on top of it, and it's just
glimmering.
So with our veneers, there's grades of veneers.
Yeah.
Majority of the stuff that people buy and just cut and resell usually have like an A1, they call it, on the face or on the top, and then typically it's an A4 on the back. So you're gonna have more sap, you're gonna have more imperfections.
Right.
The A1 is better grade than the A4, obviously. All of our veneers, due to our mill, whether our other place they do for doors, cabinets, whatever, we use it's all AA grade.
Nice.
So, it's the best of the best.
Yeah.
There's one more step.
Well, let's just call it the best of the best.
What you get from us is you get that matching front and back.
Yeah.
You don't get any imperfections. You get very little sap, which is the white or the white color in the cherries or the walnuts.
Yeah.
We use AA grade. So that's one other thing. Not only we're very competitive in pricing, you also get a better material as well, coming straight from the mill.
Right. Yeah, there's no middleman in between that you have to, because then, I mean, if you're reselling, you basically are, either you have to have an amazing relationship with your manufacturer, or you have to just have the trust in them that they're going to then give you a quality product that you can then resell. But when it's in the family, you can be like, yo, Dad, make sure.
Right. So when you buy from us, you're supporting Ryan's grandpa's coffee clutch.
I love it. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the background of how I met them, and I hope to convince her to use some sapele or cherry on an acrylic award again. I'm gonna keep pushing that on her. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. And I mean, and so you guys now offer more than just wood. So you offer the plywoods, you offer hardwood as well, right?
Yep.
Right.
And acrylic, veneers. And then the veneers, you have, which I don't know if you offer, you probably offer it on other materials as well, but you offer the 2 different types of adhesive, the 3M and Orifol. And so what's the difference between those two? We
started more with the Orifol because we've had a lot of customers that do inlays, which the Orifol is a lot thinner than a 3M adhesive. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stick out as far.
Right.
So, and then overall, you can use it for wrappings on cups, hats, whatever, and it's super sticky.
Yeah. Yeah.
One shot.
I had the cherry veneer backed with the Orifol. I tried it with them. And yeah, it's just like 3M in that you get one shot. You put it down and that's where it be.
She ain't moving.
Nope.
She ain't moving.
And it's a lot easier on us if we just use the Orifol because we can still use the AA grade veneers that we put on our panels, all our plywoods. And we can just adhere it real quick.
So, and you can't do that with the 3M, you say?
We can, but it's a lot more labor intensive.
Oh, okay.
Just a lot more stock.
Yeah.
So.
And so the other thing I had was talking about the different cores. How do your cores compare to others? And I mean, you even offer several yourself, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So our cores, we have our microply. It's, we designed that. It's,
that's what we started at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep. It has, even though it's more of a plywood base, it will not have any defects in it. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
There's no glue spots like you see from the big box stores.
Right.
There's no knots in there that they chose to not put in, chose to put them in there.
Yeah.
We have no knots or glue spots in ours. We have a lot of customers that want MDF core, which is fine. So we also added the MDF core with our same quality veneers as well.
But our MDF isn't dirty.
It is not dirty. It's not sooty. It doesn't dirty up your laser as much.
Yeah, I liked using MDF because it had a lot less, I guess, quote, defects than plywood does. But yeah, how dirty my machine got after like just cutting a couple sheets, I was like, okay, like and like your hand, like you would touch it and like you'd have like soot on your hand, and yeah.
The problem with MDF, when people buy and sell MDF, you don't know where that MDF is coming from.
Right.
There's many mills. There's only maybe 2 MDF mills in the States alone.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, it comes overseas.
Yeah.
And you don't know what fiberboard it is. It could be harder. It could be more stuff in it.
Right. More filler.
Chemicals. We buy... That's about the only product that we buy is the MDF for this.
Yeah.
It does come from one mill. We go there. We are specific on what we use.
Right.
And it's the cleanest of all.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
Yeah. I did not like using MDF when I was engraving. And then Ryan came to me and he's like, hey, try this. I was like, ew, that's MDF core.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But it was so much cleaner and it didn't have that dirty ickiness.
Yeah. Well, and one trick that I mentioned yesterday was how to find the glue spots or knots in the wood by placing a flashlight behind it. And it can help you hopefully try and avoid those things. One, if you think about it, or two, take the time to do it, which I never did. And then the other thing that I didn't like about the Home Depot plywood, which is a lot of lumber suppliers put these metal flecks in in the glue or whatever in the ply to like, it's like a marker or like kind of like a logo or like, it's like it shows that it's their wood. And And for most people, if they're using plywood for what most people use plywood for, which is not necessarily laser engraving, it's not an issue because it's on the inside. But it was an issue when you'd go to engrave something and then you'd pop them up. You'd show them. And I remember there was once where I did like because it was on my Glowforge, I did a photo engrave and it was a pet memorial. And so I it was probably an hour photo engrave. And then once it's done, I pull it out and I'm like, what's this shininess? And like, I love sparkle and shine, but not where it's not supposed to be on a pet memorial engrave. And
unless it's on the eye, then you get a little twinkle in the eye.
But it would never do that for me.
Of course not.
And so they weren't only like just silver. Sometimes they were red as well. And so then it was like, right. And so, trying to hide those, I think I tried like a marker, I tried paint, and then it was just like, okay, well now I get to do it again.
Another hour.
And so it was frustrating. And then you have to hope that I don't find it
another one
again, So, that was one of many reasons that I ended up ditching wood. But yeah, it was just another frustration with the other suppliers that I didn't like.
One of the biggest things for myself, I can say, and my generation, our son and myself has asthma. And so anything that we use to build plywoods, panels, doors, cutting boards is all FDA.
Yeah.
Food related.
Mm-hmm.
Food safe.
It's all environmental safe as far as equipment, lasers including.
Yeah.
So and we want also to have our customers experience that as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Lasering is a stinky job. Yeah. So minimizing that where you can is huge.
Right. Especially with my son being here. And, sometimes we're running a laser and we can't have that with his asthma.
Yeah.
And one thing with our plywoods, with settings, what's for like Glowforge settings, let's say on our microply, is it usually cut around 150, 160, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our microply 1/8 cuts around 180. So you get a lot more product out with a better quality woods as well.
Yeah.
With ours.
And so what other products do you guys offer besides the things we mentioned so far?
The acrylics. Right?
Yeah.
And then you did something new with the acrylics.
What's that?
That you did something new with the acrylics, right? You added
I don't have any. Not in here. We put veneers on colored core.
Yeah.
So you can engrave through the
veneer to expose the core.
Veneer. Yes.
This
one's not cut, but here's a exotic, a Tino.
Oh, nice.
Exotic.
Yeah. So that's a Tino wood on yellow engravable plastic. So our acrylics or engravable plastics come from Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
They're a laser manufacturer.
Yeah.
Engravable plastics.
Yeah.
They're out of Minnesota as well. So we joined up the distributor of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a popular acrylic supplier, distributor, manufacturer, right? Because they make their own.
They are. Yeah. It's all made in their
in-house.
And what was that wood called again?
What's that?
What was that wood called again that was on top of it?
Tino?
Isn't it Tino?
I don't know.
Huh.
Tino.
It's pretty.
Exotic.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of. I'll do the exotic veneers. Those are that's the wood I'll use.
That's the wood you use?
The fancy AF wood. I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need to try that too. Yeah. And like, there's. So what are the other fancy ones? There's like zebra wood.
Wait.
Ooh,
what is that?
That is nice.
That's a special.
I need that one. Ooh, what's that?
That's Padoot.
This one smells like bacon when it comes out of the crap.
Oh,
nice. Is it because of the sap?
I think so. Every time I press it, it smells like bacon, and then I'm hungry.
That would be the only wood I'd produce.
Okay, so what's that one? What's the black?
Which one is this one?
It's the pinstripe. The black pinstripe.
So it's got like flecks of metallic silver in it.
I need.
You know what would be cool? That
it looks like a man's
pinstripe suit.
Pinstripe suit. What would be cool is that with a red core.
I send you
because those are our colors.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. You can make some Riley Black stuff with that.
Definitely.
Be cool.
Right?
We could make ornaments.
Riley Black.
Using that
Riley Black project ornaments.
Mm-hmm. So you're gonna hear we're gonna have that with a red core.
We're gonna have to make a list.
Yeah.
There you go. Make a list and send it to me. So we're actually using that one right now to make keychains for our BMX team.
Oh, nice.
But, well, I don't have the keychains that we're making, but you just switched the camera on me. So we started producing keychains
and
for
cutting
people
boards.
to
Yeah.
enjoy them.
Nice. That's pretty.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, and so we were talking yesterday about the fancy little thing again. Yeah, so that's a great option for people who are doing especially 1/4-inch keychains, because my keychain thingies don't fit most 1/4-inch materials. They fit really thin ones.
Right. Not true 1/4.
Yeah, no. So, and if you've tried to do anything with kerf, mostly that's when you notice most 1/4-inch materials are not 0.25 inches. So they're usually around like 0.18, 0.19. Well, no. So on my site, the keychain thingies, it fits 1/4-inch materials that are up to 0.18 or 0.19 in thickness. And since even the thinner 1/4-inch woods are not that thin. So those are perfect for that because, one, it's easy, which is the whole point of the keychain thingies in the first place, is to not have to
Make
deal
your life
with
easier.
Yeah, not have to deal with jump rings, the time that's involved with those stupid things. So those are great. I have some on my site, but they aren't quite as small, and they don't look like that. I definitely need to get some of those. But I have like the bigger wire ones. I think they're about like 2 inches or 1.5 inches. But it's a good option if you're looking to make the thicker keychains, but also to save time.
And even, not even keychains, back to school. You put your kiddo's name on it for their backpack.
Yeah, right. Totally.
You did one for JR and his acrylic.
Pet name on
like what we call our children. Oh, that's not appropriate.
Well, and so, so last year, like he just mentioned, I made keychains for the whole class. Keychains, and then it was around Thanksgiving, so I made a little turkey charm on it, and so it had the two things, and I had big plans.
Yeah, she was gonna add a charm
every holiday,
make like a Pandora bracelet for the kids, for their backpacks. So she was gonna make a charm for every holiday. They only got turkey.
They just got
the only holiday that matters. Thanksgiving.
JR still has the turkey on his backpack.
Yeah, with his name on it. Yeah.
Well, and then for Christmas, you can't really do you gotta do holiday stuff.
Right, I know. Well, that's, I think, where I kind of got stuck was then it was December, and I was like, oh, because I already have because I make and sell designs. I was like, oh, I got a little Santa thing, and I was like, okay, maybe not.
Fuck flakes.
Yeah, that'll be perfect for 4-year-olds.
Well, remember, some people just think they're snowflakes.
Especially in Florida, when nobody has ever seen snow.
Right? Yeah. Well,
we've seen it. It's all over Home
TV.
Alone.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen Home Alone.
Fair.
We were talking about temperature yesterday. It was 50 degrees here today.
Ooh, that's
this morning.
That's steamy. Isn't it for Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know for me it's freezing, but I don't know up in Minnesota.
For me, it's freezing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait. The best is in the wintertime when it gets negative 50 below.
Oof.
No.
And all you can see is like from here up.
No. That's a
you wouldn't
see
any of it
because he wouldn't be there.
I wouldn't. And if I'm there, I'm inside somewhere,
right?
In the heat.
Yeah.
Inside the fireplace with the fire going.
Inside the fireplace.
Inside the fireplace.
This is all surrounded.
Yes.
A lot of family time.
Right. I mean, so I will say that, like, what I don't miss the snow in Colorado because I'm from Colorado, but what I do miss is how, like, life kind of slowed down in the winter.
Right.
You didn't go as many places.
Right.
There weren't as many like activities. Shut up.
Backwards.
Yeah, and so here, like, it doesn't slow down like that
at all. Right.
So it's kind of like I do miss that, and I loved fall. Fall was like my shit because Halloween, and two, because shut up, because it was not blazing hot or freezing cold. So it was like just the perfect like hoodie weather. I can't wear hoodies here. I mean, have like 6 of them and die.
Yeah, but
listen,
you can.
I drive all the time and I see these crazy people.
I don't know how they do it.
Wearing in 90 degrees.
No.
Yes.
Wearing a hoodie. And I'm like, I'm sweating in the car with the AC on full blast.
Yeah.
How they're not having a heat stroke walking down the street.
Don't know.
And they're walking. Yeah. They're not even like in the car. They're not in their house because they keep it cold.
And with the hoods on.
Yeah.
And they're not robbing anybody. They just got the hoods on walking around. Like, I'm from here and I don't get it. I look at them like,
you do have to mention that. They're not robbing anybody.
How are you not hot? No, because if they were robbing someone, it makes sense to have the hood on.
It's just temporarily.
There's no purpose.
Yeah, no.
It's not cold. It's not cold. You're not robbing anybody. You're just wearing a hood on, like a hoodie with a hood up. How are you not sweating?
It's not a statement either. It says, I'm cold, I'm hot. I don't know.
It says, it reads you're cold.
Right.
But I'm sweating and I'm wearing a t-shirt
but
and shorts.
So,
I don't know. It's just so weird. It's so weird here. It's Florida. It's Florida. It's Florida.
That's true. That's all you can say.
That's all you can
Florida.
say. It's Florida. That's right.
It's Florida.
So, one of my favorite show and tells of yesterday was all of your cutting boards.
I'll pass them to you. So we just kind of released these on the site.
Yeah. They're so pretty. Yeah. And remember, what is that called, babe? The little around the edge? He just said it.
Are you babe?
Do you
a screw? What?
Are you babe? He's a babe
that's
for you, right?
One. That's one of my favorite ones.
It's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So what's that groove called?
I don't know. It's a groove.
You already forgot.
Yep. And he just said it.
And he said it like 3 times.
Well, we were talking over it, so I don't remember.
Juice groove.
Juice groove.
For where the juices go.
Oh, that's right.
Juices.
That's where it catches the juices.
Yeah. Oh, that one's gorgeous too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. I think
seeing that top left, that's a perfect place to put your engraving because it's lighter and
right.
So like if you're just doing a name or
right, or all the Santa boards that everybody's doing every year,
which I mentioned yesterday. Avoid plywood if at all possible, because I mean you probably shouldn't be putting food on it for first of all, depending on the plywood.
Don't want his cookies on that,
right? And like if you want to clean it for like next year, if you want it to last till next year, get some quality or even like some cheaper cutting boards and put the Santa
cookies on.
Yeah, because have you seen the Santa trays?
Nope.
So they have like a spot for cookies. They have a spot for like the milk.
Yep.
Then they have some of them have like spot for like the carrots for the reindeer. That kind of stuff. Yeah, so they're cute. But on the Glowforge, they take
forever.
Yeah,
everything takes forever.
Not everything, but yes, definitely a full cutting board engrave would take a while on the Glowforge.
Well, since yesterday, you guys got some news on the cutting boards.
We did. So last night when we have our our really romantic chats.
Oh, right. Yeah, the bedside chats about business.
Right. Minus, I fell asleep during our chat. He was rambling, and I was done with it.
True.
So I'm dead asleep.
I waited.
And I hear, Ashley, what? He goes, do you know this guy? Yep. He's using our cutting boards. So we have a Iron Chef that is using one of our cutting boards.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to have to send him another one so you can be like, hey,
here you go. Give this to Bobby Clay. Here, give this to everybody else you know.
Right. Give it to all your Iron Chef friends.
Right.
So kind of kick back on the cutting board thing. So hardwoods, it's all hardwoods, no knots.
Yeah.
We use maple walnut cherry in them on the boards.
Talk about the hot dish glue.
Hot dish glue.
So you can eat the glue.
Oh, you can eat the glue, but
it's food safe.
Yeah, it's food safe. And the wood is very important because the hardwoods have like a natural preservative in them. So getting back to the plywoods are not safe.
Yeah.
Plastic is not safe.
Right.
Bamboo.
The bamboo is marginal. I mean, there's a lot of glue. There's a lot of grass. It's grass and glue that make bamboo.
If you want bamboo, I will go out to my yard. It's pretty long right now. Glue some grass together. We'll make bamboo. The other thing is acacia wood. Huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it has wood putty in it. I don't want to eat wood putty.
Yeah. But you guys did mention that you of doing a wood glue tasting. I kind of want to see that.
We didn't do it.
Ryan
chickened out on me yesterday.
It'd be really good content, though, Ryan.
I already did the tasting. No, I already did the tasting.
Just not on camera.
Yeah, Gavin wouldn't do it.
You tasted the oil.
I tasted the cutting board oil.
That we condition all the boards with. He
didn't
tasted
taste
that.
But did you record it, Ryan? It didn't happen if you didn't record it.
Right.
Don't pressure me. I'm not doing it again.
I'm gonna make a cake and just put glue on the top of it. You'll never know. You like cake?
So something we mentioned yesterday too, which I thought was awesome, was the growth of the company. So first it was just you and Ryan, kids.
Special guests,
right? So
I'm gonna put on my mom's smile and she's like, get out.
So first it was just you and Ryan, and now how many employees do you guys have?
Right. So we started this just the two of us, our kids helping us pack boxes, and now we have 6 employees.
That's awesome.
They're literally a part of our family.
Yeah.
One of them is our BMX coach.
Nice.
And then at our other facility, with the veneers, there's many there.
Yeah.
So it kind of all we all work together. It's not just here.
Yeah. I love that. Can you imagine when we'll get our first employee? You were my first employee.
I'm technically the first.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. But first, outsider.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I can't either. I'm a control freak. So it would be really, really hard for me. I mean, it was really hard for me to have him do stuff, and it still is sometimes to this day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we had an incident not too long, a few days ago.
What was that? Oh,
yeah.
That one.
Everything worked out in the end.
It did. So funny. We'll mention that one. So I sell the keychain thingies, and I offer that they can purchase insurance if they're doing first class packaging, because they weigh like nothing. It's literally just over an ounce. So they can either do $5 for first class or $6 for first class, but with insurance. And so I get an email that they didn't receive their package, and that it was marked as delivered, but they didn't receive it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, and to be fair, a lot of times when that happens, it's always the customers who didn't purchase the insurance. And so I'm like, ready to go look at the order and see that they didn't purchase insurance. And I look and I'm so excited because they purchased insurance. And I'm like, okay,
they didn't.
We're good. No, they did. We didn't. So then I look at the label and I'm like, this is the first time I'm having to really like explore the option of filing a claim with the first class package, because again, normally I have to tell them, sorry, you're out of luck. I'll give you a discount, but when you purchase first class, this is a risk you take. And so they didn't take that risk for once. And then I look at the label and there's no insurance added. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So my excitement immediately turns to, shit, now we're going to have to cover this but thankfully the package showed up. It was in the neighbor's mailbox, so we were saved by the found package. He is. And I mean, in your defense, there's many times that I've had to either one, I forgot and have to like hope that nothing happens with that package because it's like too late to fix it, or I have to cancel the postage label and then add it, and then and of course when you do that, the customer gets an email. They get the first email that their package is shipped, and then they get another email that their package is shipped. So it's because I had to fix the tracking number, or print a new one, which meant a new tracking. But
I had a crash course because she went out of town and I had to fulfill orders. So that's my excuse. I let one slip.
Yeah.
So far that we know of.
I mean, there's been the other things.
Yeah, there's other things.
That was the first label, but I mean, and I did those in the beginning. But that's where it's hard when you're growing. Is that when I make the mistake, I can only be mad at me.
Right.
It's different when someone else makes it, because then it's like I kind of wish it was me who made it, because I don't want to be mad or like disappointed in someone else making a mistake.
And it's like it's your name,
right?
And it's like it's your mistake,
right? It's mine, but someone else.
But you didn't make it. That's I think that's what's really what really bothers you, is that it's technically your mistake as the owner of the company. Right. But it's not, because you delegated it to somebody else.
Well, and I'm so particular down to like how the tape looks. Like the sticker needs to be straight. Like
she is. She really is.
But you'll never forget it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully.
You put that in the wife Rolodex.
Right.
You never forget.
I still forget. That's how I keep things fresh and new.
Oh, okay. Is that your excuse?
That's my excuse.
Let's see. I think did we cover all of the products?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we got everything with the show and tell in.
Oh, so that's what advice would you give to a new or struggling laser owner or business owner? Like what are some of the things that you guys worked through
early on?
Yeah.
I would say probably the material. Mm-hmm. Just because the material is cheap, it's going to be more expensive in the long run, because it's not going to cut. It's not going to look the way you want it. It's hard to work with. It's not. Mm-hmm. It's just, you need material that cuts the same all the time.
Right, consistency.
You know it's going to cut. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that question on my run this morning.
Did you run outside?
What?
Yeah.
Did your car break down?
I was being chased by a bear.
Oh, that makes sense. It's the only way I run.
So I think it's about value. Putting value into your time that you use to make whatever it is you're using, and also value in the product that you're using. The more value you place on that, the higher value your consumer is going to see in the end product.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
I know a lot of people, I hear it a lot when people want to use acrylic but don't want to because of the price tag. And well, that's not necessarily like a quality thing. That's like their pricing. And it's similar to where you want to pay for, a little bit more for quality products. But you have to take into account your time as well in the price tag of that product, because what acrylic gives you is you don't have to sand, prep, seal, paint. And yes, it's a little bit more expensive per sheet, but you also get to skip all those other steps that you wouldn't necessarily get to skip in wood. And so you have to take that into account when looking at the pricing as well, is that does it save you time and energy? Same with 3M and other adhesives.
I was going to say that.
3M, I procrastinated forever using 3M, and just because of the price. I'm like, this is so expensive. If I use this on a whole project, And then I found ways to make sure to use like only what I need by like cutting out a shape around what I'm making, putting the 3M on that piece, and then cutting out whatever I'm cutting, so that I'm not putting it on the whole sheet and potentially wasting that sheet if I don't use it, and using it just for what I need. But then when I saw the time savings, again, if you place it correctly, it's not time saving. It's saving if you
have to redo it.
Yeah, exactly. But just the time saving 3M gives you of not having to worry about like glue seepage, like dry time. It's already dry. You should probably like press it or clamp it or, put weight on it, just like anything else. But for the most part, like it's one and done.
Right.
And so a lot of people procrastinate on trying the 3M. And then when they finally do, they're like, oh.
So this is what everyone's talking about.
Right. So yeah, that all goes into it of spending a little bit more often isn't a bad thing, because it saves you time and energy
if it saves you time
elsewhere.
And energy. Spending a little more if it saves you time and energy.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've even seen
the time is valuable.
Very. Yeah.
Just
you
as
can't
much
get
as
that back.
Good material. If you have bad material and you got to redo it.
Yeah.
Right.
All that time is wasted.
Yeah.
And
money.
Yeah. When I've seen, I did it in the beginning too, when I couldn't find like, if Home Depot didn't have the plywood I needed. I think I used underlayment once to make like this award, and now I cringe looking back at it that I used that, and it definitely wasn't the quality I would ever put out now. But I did warn that customer because it was a friend. I was like, are you sure you want to get this from me? I'm very, very new. But yeah, just putting the quality products into it, you can then also charge more.
Right.
As well.
Exactly.
So, you can say like, yes, this isn't a $5 ornament, but this is an ornament that should hopefully potentially last you longer than you'll be alive, that you could, then pass down to someone. So yeah, that's all.
And this is a good subject because there's so much, not so much anymore, Baltic birch. It doesn't cut. It's different thicknesses.
Right.
It's got so much glue spots in it, knots. Footballs on the one side for the grid. So we came out with our in-house birch. It's still got our same core. It cuts just as quick.
Yeah.
Beautiful like all our other stuff. And it's a better veneered product cosmetically than Baltic.
Yeah.
And it's the same price per box.
Right. Well, and Baltic is getting more expensive by the day.
So it's like gold.
Yeah. The other thing we didn't mention yet is the coupon, the discount that they are. Well, 2 discounts. So
2.
Yeah, so they're giving 10% to everybody.
General admission.
All the listeners.
Right.
And then, so the 10% code is Riley Black 10. And I'm not even going to mention what the other discount is.
Right. You're going to have to go over to Patreon.
You're going to have to go to Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so, and like I mentioned yesterday, which was a great sell on Patreon. If you are a patron, it's only $4 a month.
Yeah, at the lowest level.
And you can't even get a coffee. for that price.
And that's once a month. That's not even weekly.
That's not once a
it's
day.
Daily. Nope. It's monthly. So feel free to support us on Patreon.
And then you get extra discounts. You get files. You get
automatically enrolled in giveaways. That's going to happen.
Yeah, this one we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to do the giveaway
in the month of September.
So be sure to and while we're plugging, go ahead and plug where can
wait. Hold on. Before you do that, it's the codes are good until I know. Sorry. But the codes are good until Halloween, October 31st.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's our favorite holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good holiday.
It's a good holiday.
Yeah.
Better than Christmas.
Right.
I mean,
okay, now you can do your
segue. And Balmer.
It was the best holiday.
It's my favorite holiday.
Segue's wrong because we were pushing our stuff. So.
Sorry.
Anyway, so where can if people wanted to see everything that you guys have to offer, where can people find you?
Right here.
There they are. So you've heard it here first. You just go over.
Just go to their house, knock on the door.
We'll have their address. We'll have their address in the description.
We'll post that, on all the social medias.
So we are on Facebook under Lasered by the Creek and Ashley Staples. That's my personal account. Mm-hmm. Or you can visit our website, laseredbythecreek.com. Mm-hmm. We're also on TikTok. We're very new to TikTok. Still having fun with TikTok.
Yeah.
And we haven't quite reached Instagram yet, but that's in the works.
That's next.
On the list.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
You can text to the number on our website. You can email us with questions.
Oh, that's your drug phone, right? The third
phone.
That's our drug phone.
We each have our own personal phones, and we carry our love child called the drug phone.
You know, we have a lot of customers. Sorry to bother you, but we have a question. No, it's we want that.
No, you guys are.
We want to get you the product that you want.
Yeah, you guys are on top of it. I mean, she answers my questions all the time. I usually have several of them. I'm asking several, do you have this? Do you have this? How much is this? How much is that? So, yeah, she's very, very patient and quick with my questions. So I appreciate it.
Unless I'm sleeping and not answering the phone.
That's allowed. You can sleep a little bit.
Oh, thanks. Until I'm woken up by him.
Look at this cutting board. Hey, this one, it was at least it was a good one.
Right.
It was good news.
Yes.
Instead of worky news. Hey, I came up with a great idea. Okay, I'm going back to bed.
Oh my God, he is the worst. He'll come up with a good idea right before bed.
Good night.
And then he passes out, and now my brain is spinning with all of these ideas. Right? And I'm like, thanks, babe. I'm not going to sleep tonight, so this is a great idea. Could you not?
I just want to go, good night, Jim Kite. Good night.
A whistle. Thought I was being summoned.
No.
I thought there was a fairy in the room.
He doesn't have the sneeze still on his phone. He used to have a sneeze. So when COVID was going on, we'd be walking through Walmart and the sneeze would be going off.
Oh my God. That's genius. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for making time for us again.
Thanks for spending several hours with us. Some of them unplanned. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, we're free.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe this won't record again.
Oh God, shut up! If it doesn't, this is it. We're going with audio. We'll show them pictures.
Well, thanks for spending an hour with us, and it's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Maybe we're all done.